I may tell you a jokey joke, but I would never tell a lie. Hey y'all, it's your girl Milliondo. I go by Millie. If you're new here, welcome. Again, my name is Millie, and I make these videos because when I was first trying to look more into graphic design at Full Sail University, there was not a lot of information on it or what the classes were like or how assignments went. So I want to be the person that kind of breaks that little curse of it going on. So every month after I finish a class, depending on if my grades are graded on time or not, I upload a video kind of giving you like an oversight of the whole class month. The last time I spoke to y'all, I was actually in Texas. Y'all know that's dedication because I was on vacation, still sitting here uploading videos. But y'all also know I don't like coming here without my receipts. So let me pull it up. We had month 22 and month 23, we had interactive editorial design and we had physical science. I need to try to pull up what my receipts for that class was because honestly, I can't even say that I remember. My bad. This past class from April, I just got my finished grade. So we're gonna go over that. So in physical science, we passed with an A-. We had a 90.52. We got into that, we spoke about that. And so that means that we were waiting on my grade for media integration. That was that first coding class. Ugh. We passed with an A, y'all. We literally passed with an A's, like 100s across the board for each assignment, and we passed with a 100. I still don't know how, but we passed. Or this past month, we had another coding class. We had, y'all, I wasn't excited about that second coding class, and it had me, and I know I say this all the time, bro, hanging on by a thong string, stressed. Like I knew what I was doing, but your girl was still freaking stressed. Before I go into that, the last update was a couple days ago. GPA is at a 3.76. Pause again. We have 4 more months of classes. 4 more months. Y'all have been with me for almost my entire 28 months of school. 2.5 years. Y'all have been rocking with me, and I can't thank y'all enough. I am so glad when you guys like are commenting, asking me stuff, because it's just like, girl, I'm new here, but like, you proud of me, I'm proud of you. Like I'm so hyped, so I appreciate y'all, and I also always welcome y'all to leave those comments and questions down below so I can help you as much as I can. Now let's move into the other stuff. Not the last video, the video before, I was telling y'all that life was life and more than what life has ever lifed. And although life is still lifing the same way that life was lifing before, I told y'all I was moving. We are now moved. So I don't want to talk about it, but just know we moved, and it's different. It's real life different. Moving into the stuff that you guys are actually here for, our past class for last month was media and integration. More coding, and baby. Was it a doozy? So moving into week 1, we passed with a 100. We had first a discussion and responsive website type of assignment. We had to find a site with responsive page layout, and then we had to open the site side by side in the 2 windows, one wide and one narrow. And then we kind of had to screenshot it. So what I used was one of my favorite stores, and the reason why I'm broke today. It was the Foot Locker homepage. It was interactive. You know, when you see sneakers, it kind of moves itself. It's responsive, interactive. I'm not going to show you all that because it's literally just the Foot Locker page on the web browser and one on my phone. Next, we had research, searching the web. We had to choose an example of a successful web design. And we had to write like a short paragraph on the reflection of why the site design was designed well and so on and so forth. I don't remember what I used. Oh, I used Apple. Because it was just so easy to just use it. Like, Apple's always gonna Apple. Apple is the GOAT. And that was basically week 1. I'm speeding through this, y'all. I'm sorry. Week 2, we worked with HTML forms. So basically we made like an index and a content in a contact page. I can show y'all, but I promise it's not really all that deep and stuff. So basically we had to make the regular index. You know, whenever you start like coding, you start with an index page. That was basically like our beginning page. You know, they gave us a certain store name that we had to build this website on. So this year, or maybe this semester, or this month, I'll say, we had a plant shop. We made the index page, which is the home page. Like in the navigations, we made contact, link, drop downs, a map page, so on and so forth. All right, so this was basically like my home page. I made it interactive by just adding different photos. This is just, you know, kind of what he walked us through. Left column, right column, left column, right column, demonstration heading. This will be an excellent copy sometime soon. Repeatedly, more columns, more columns. And that was basically the start of week 2. The next thing we had to do was another discussion board, just basically answering questions of how we like HTML so far. Like, has the tutorials been easy? And that's another thing. So I recommend, we all got iPads if you're doing online. I recommend watching all of the tutorials on your iPad so you can follow along on your laptop when it comes to it, because I kind of sped it up. So I did it not at speed 1 when I watched the tutorials, rather speed 2. But definitely take your time in doing it, because some things are confusing. The next assignment for week 2, how we did research in the web. For a good site, you had to do a bad site. For my bad site, it was like one of Yale's websites for their arts page. Like, it was just so bad and messy. So I had used that. In high school, we actually learned about that page. So it was crazy, because high school, I was back in like graduating, 2013. It's crazy that I even remember that. Week 3, I'm not going to show y'all. I'll show y'all like the whole thing at the end. But week 3, we focused on embedding media to our page. So underneath, I believe, like the map navigation button, we had to embed a YouTube video, and that's where we embedded like the Google Maps for certain stuff, so on and so forth. So next for that week was a discussion on form design. They gave us a link to like an article, and you basically just had to answer questions about it, like if the author's idea and the guidelines inspired you, and how it did or didn't, so on and so forth. And then you had to reply to somebody else. The last assignment was surfing the web, integrated media. For this one, we had to look for a site that has some sort of rich media. So it could be a video author, or from another piece of like interactive content. We had to explain what kind of media was included or embedded, and if the media added value or didn't. Plain, easy, and simple. The end of week 3, passed with a 100. For week 4, we had to put like plugins into our site. So we learned how to, for instance, like the heading or the header for one of our paragraphs, we learned how to make it just like move, how to make it swoosh, how to make it flip and turn, stuff like that. We also had a discussion for mobile use. So you had to answer the question like, for web browsing, do you use like an actual browser? Do you use your desktop, your tablet, your phone, or your laptop? Laptop, desktop, same difference. Make your post, and then you had to respond to somebody. We got a 100 on that. Then we had another research, searching the web for your favorite site. I chose Boho Man or Boohoo Man, however you say it. I love Boohoo Boho Man. That's my favorite online like shopping store for clothing, so I use them and basically like explaining why. And at this point, all my clothes is kind of like from Boho Man, so I just feel like in general they should sponsor me expeditiously, because the amount of money y'all take from me, wicked, hella wicked. And another reason I'm kind of rushing through this is because I have homework due tonight, but I also have stuff I need to do in my house, so I'm just trying to get this video out because I don't want y'all to have to wait for it, you know? You're welcome. Okay, so for some reason, I'm not sure why it wouldn't come up. So basically like week 4, you're still following along with like the, you're still following around with the tutorials, but now instead of like having these blank columns, now you have to fill them in with things that complement your plant shop. So I'm gonna flip this over and we're gonna get to how I made mine look. So just coming back to my homepage, you know, just this still interactive and so on and so forth, but you know, little paragraphs. I don't know if y'all seen everything popping up just now and how my picture turned. That's one of the things we did. Put like working links right here. They don't go to anything in specific. We just had to make it into a link. On my contact page, everything works. Even if we do one of these things, type out a message and send, it brings you to a whole page with basically what you typed in and the questions you answered. I did something extra and I actually individually put all of the states in here. I just thought that was cool. Made a little working search link right up over here, and made a drop down, a little navigation there. Coming onto here was our video screen. So you see I put a random flower shop. This was part of the tutorial, like a hip hop radio beat video. We had to put videos here, and honestly what this should be is an interactive, so it should be blurry and have like an arrow here, but for some reason mine was not working. I told my professor that. I guess he just gave me like the okie doke for it to be okay. I just filled in these columns with just little things. So into the last page was the map page, more interactive buttons or more, you know, working buttons for it. So we have Full Sail, a flower shop here in Delaware, and then we have another flower shop there somewhere in Florida. Here in the columns, just our flower school, greenhouse, nursery on wheels, just little things to just fill it up, you know? So all in all, honestly, that class was not bad. It was actually very fun once I got the hang of everything. And that was that's month 24. So here we are in month 25. The class that I am currently in, I have to go to because I'm not even gonna lie, I don't know the name of it. Okay, we are currently in Project and Portfolio 5. We started on the 5th, it ends on the 31st. Are you gonna have the ending grade on time? Probably not. So far, we are in the beginning of week 2. So far, I have 75.17. Because it was like this test, but y'all know me, and I'm gonna be real. I'm not watching any lectures. I should have watched that lecture. Because there was like a little test on certain things that he said in the lecture. I just guessed them because at this point it's week 1. I'm not watching a lecture. I'm sorry. I work in a psych unit. But that's me just being me. Don't be like me. I'm a very bad influence sometimes. Please don't be like me. This will focus on evaluating and refining creative assets and strategies in the realm of visual arts to showcase skills and abilities learned in previous courses. project work in progress will be evaluated against discipline-specific deadlines and constraints. Students will continue to receive clear technical and creative evaluation from their instructor on the direction of their projects. That is Project and Portfolio 5, Visual Arts. Per usual, let me put y'all up because y'all heads keep falling. Y'all got some big ass heads, apparently. Per usual, if you have any questions or concerns, please comment down below. And honestly, while you guys are here, when I was at work today, I did get a notification that somebody had left a comment under one of my videos. So let me just go back to that really quickly. It is from @BrolyFury. I'm going to Full Sail University for graphic design June 2nd. Is there anything I should know about this program particularly? Honestly, nothing that I haven't said in any of my past 14 videos, if I'm being honest. I would say just go back and look at one of my videos. It's maybe like my second or my third video. I'm kind of getting into why I got into graphic design and why I think Full Sail is best. I don't think personally there's anything you should know about this program other than make sure this is something that you love doing. If you love to create, if you love designing, I believe personally that this will be the perfect program for you. He also commented again. He said, what will be any recommendations on the whole schooling process there? I would say that question is a little bit subjective because recommendations on the schooling process, if that's for starting school, I would say honestly my advisors and the individuals that reached out to me were very helpful. There was not much of a process other than like your tax info, FAFSA, if you did any scholarships, any grants, so on and so forth. Is there any advice you can give me as a new student? I would say don't start school next month nervous, because if you put that energy out there, that energy is going to stick there, and it's gonna be very, like, you're just gonna be anxious about the whole thing. Don't go in there afraid of anything. Go in there with an open mind. I went in a little skeptical because I'm like, damn, like I'm actually gonna be doing design work. Like, don't think they're just gonna throw design work at you. Just know that as an online student, I find it most helpful when there are tutorials, when the professors they answer you back, because that was another thing I was afraid of going to school online. I'm a very hands-on learner, a visual learner. You can't just put something in front of me and expect me to be able to do it. I'm not that type of learner, and I did have some classes that felt that way, maybe like 2 or 3 out of these 24 that I took, but a lot of the times they're very hands-on and very helpful, and I appreciate that. I also got the Memento Scholarship, and I don't know how hard it would be to hold a 2.0 GPA. Is there any advice you can give me to stay ahead in all of my classes? I actually made a video about this, and it's probably one of those videos that I told you to go back and watch. But staying ahead of your classes, I would say, number one, pay attention to that rubric, because sometimes the rubric, it will rubric and you will skip over something, or you will think that because, oh, this assignment seems pretty easy, but then you're missing a very crucial part of that assignment because you didn't follow the rubric. Stay ahead by not doing your work last minute. There are going to be some classes, like these past couple classes were kind of irritating in the sense of, from the beginning, I can go through the class as fast as I want. If I wanted to do week 1 through 3 in 1 week, I could, but then it got to a point where I could only do week 1 and week 1. And until that Monday, when week 2 officially opens, that's when I could do week 2. But then I was at a halt again because I can't start week 3 until actual week 3. So that was kind of irritating. I feel like having a whole open month to finish it when you want to was kind of more helpful for me. I have decided what I'm going to attend school for to get my master's. I was going to do marketing, but I feel like a lot of the classes in the marketing program, I took a lot of them doing graphic design. And I don't want to feel like I'm doing the same thing, even though it's different, graphic design and marketing, but the classes they were still making a baby in some way. I decided I want to broaden myself when it came to just making myself more accessible. I want to make myself more accessible in the field of graphic design and doing other things. So I decided that I will again attend Full Sail after I graduate in September for public relations. That is what I'm going to get my master's in, public relations. So I will catch y'all hopefully on time at the end of this month and give y'all an update on this class, Project and Portfolio 5. What I can say is so far, we're working with Figma. We're working with Figma and we're making like I could tell y'all this. We had to pick a certain brand and make an event out of it. That was week 1. Yeah, that was week 1. This week we have to make web pages for it. Not coding, not anything like that. We have to right now we're currently making a header and landing page. That's what I would say. And that's all I'm gonna say. So please hop out of my new townhouse and I will catch y'all at the end of Project and Portfolio 5.